One. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Entropy Emporium. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, spending your evening with us. Tonight, we are playing Brindlewood Bay, a murder most mucky, which I am super excited to be running. Before I jump into that, I'm going to talk a little bit slow because I forgot to pull up my links. Um, I have to do a little bit of housekeeping. There it is. First and foremost, here at Entropy Emporium, we are raising money for the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund, PCRF. They are doing really important work on the ground in Gaza. We ask that instead of subscribing to us, please donate your funds and resources to help them do the work that they need to do to get much needed aid there. Keep your eyes on Palestine, keep your eyes on Sudan, keep your eyes on Congo, pay attention to what's going on in the world around you. None of us are free until we're all free. Additionally, with his permission, we are sharing the link for a mutual aid for Lion, a member of our community. He has been going through a hard time, and so he has asked that we just kind of spread the word. If you want to support somebody that's right here in our circles, please feel free to do so with this link. That is the Ko-fi link for Lion's Mutual Aid. He's a phenomenal human being. He's been very, very kind and lovely. We love having him in this space. So if you are able to support, please do so. And finally, if you like what we do, come hang out with us in our Discord. It's mostly just a lot of feral screaming. It's a little bit chaotic. It's a lot of fun. We love what we do. We love our characters. We love each other. So tends to be a little bit of a chaotic space, but we have a lot of fun with it. That is my housekeeping things out of the way. Um, if I could, while my brain catches up, I'm going to go ahead and hand things over to my cast to introduce themselves. Let us know who you are, who you're playing. Um, Let us know how you're feeling now that you are in Mucky Point doing this investigation. How is your character feeling about things? How are they? Yeah, how are they feeling being in this place that's not exactly welcoming, but certainly has a lot of its mysteries to uncover? Knox, I literally saw you just do that, and you know that you're not going first. I was going invisible sun route. That was totally my bad.
It's
That was
not me this
totally my
time.
bad. Knox always ends up going first, and she always puts food in her mouth right when I call on her to go. But for once, I was incorrect. I apologize about that. So I'm going to actually hand it over to Andrew to kick us off.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I'm playing Maxine, and I'll say Maxine is feeling intrigued at this place. Like the sort of like weird gear clicking in the brain of like this place doesn't make sense on how it works. Like as far as like comparing it to Brindlewood Bay and other places Maxine has been, it's like, this place is just weird. And it's more of a like, can I figure it out? um, yeah, that's me.
The weirdness is absolutely very apt, and it's going to get weirder, and I'm really excited about that. Now I will hand it over to Knox for introductions. You knew.
Hi, my name is Knox. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I might as well just shout out what I'm eating every stream. I'm eating brownie brittle right now. I've got my Dr. Pepper. I remember also definitely what we're supposed to be saying. Don't worry, I do this every stream. I'm playing Irma Cortez, who also uses she, her, hers. She has a disabled cat named Pomegranate, and that's the most important thing you need to know about her. Um, how is she feeling? She's ready to flip somebody over. She's like ready to make it like another person fell off this fucking lighthouse because somebody's holding her shoulder. And um she chooses fight or flight, and she is a flightless bird. And so she will just throw this bitch over unless they're hot. Kian, please let them be hot. So um I will I it's a bag. You can have some. Yeah, I think I said everything I was supposed to say. She likes to crochet.
Wonderful. Thank you kindly. You have to wait long enough to see this person's face before throwing them off to determine if they're hot. So just keep that in mind. All right, the ball's in your court right now. We will hand it over to Ian for introductions.
Hi, my name is Ian. My pronouns are he, they, and I am playing Helen Yang, she, her. How is Helen feeling right now? I think it's a mix of excitement because she loves seeing new places and having an adventure, but also a little bit of annoyance and irritation because things are kind of very cluttered and she has a certain standard of what she would like to have and do in her sightseeing of different parts of the world. And especially since the cop before was kind of like being a little bit prickly towards her group and her car. She's not the most keen on sticking around too long and would like to get things over with um, and solve this mystery as fast as possible.
Thank you kindly. I hope that Helen is feeling differently about Mucky Point by the end, but we'll see. She's only met the one person,
I hope so too.
so I'm
But
curious.
yeah, I think like, first impressions are very important to her and like she's also just like a weird neat freak type A person, I think. So it's just like everything is so dirty. Why is this not clean enough? Like, and then he put the delicious dessert on the staircase. Do you know how disrespectful that is? So it's not going great on first impressions.
If I was around somebody who got a tray full of sweets and they put them on the ground in front of me, I too would have really strong opinions about that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not
it's not.
Alvin putting his best foot forward.
No.
And of course, we will now ask Blair. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Blair underscore Canadian Moose all over the place. I am playing Olive Emery, your oversized cardigan wearing baking baker. There's a word for a person who bakes and it's baker. Um, yeah, and how she's feeling, I think with um Steven seems very nice. She's enjoying her conversation with him, but I think she kind of had the thought of, oh man, if I would have just baked some more sweets for people, maybe they wouldn't be as upset that we were here. Like she definitely is like doesn't doesn't fully, being from that kind of like Brindlewood Bay side, doesn't really understand like well, why are they mad at us just because we drove in from out of town? So yeah, it's kind of like maybe I should have baked some more, um, and then it's probably thinking about what to make next. So oh, and solve a murder on that too.
It's very secondary for her. It's
I
very
mean, they're happening at the same time. There's just a few more baked uh agenda items than murder items. So,
it's
you
fine.
know.
It's fine. As long as there's not another dead body while she's here, it's okay. Who cares? She could take her time. There's only one body and it's not getting any deader, so it's fine.
uh Silver lining.
And of course, my name is Kian. I am the keeper of this mystery. I get to play everybody who my players do not play on this screen. My pronouns are they, he, and yeah. Let's go ahead and kick things off. Where we left off, everybody had decided, let's go to the lighthouse. We need to check out the place that's the scene of the crime. Makes the most sense. Upon arriving in Mucky Point, you all met Alvin Deshane, the constable, who was not, as we said, the best person. Um, was not super rad. We didn't really enjoy his company, which is, understandable because he's kind of an asshole. He didn't trust all of you, kind of claimed, well, you're from Brindlewood Bay, so you can't possibly have good intentions. You're here, you're up to no good, whatever that may be, even though you're literally just a group of lovely old ladies, but that's fine. Um, you are all investigating the lighthouse. All of you elected to stay outside and kind of check the perimeter and do a walk around, which is taking a little longer, but you're elderly, and along the way, you got to meet Stephen, which is great. Stephen is just this very lovely person who is walking with you. He is the apprentice lighthouse keeper, so he is there meant to take Cyrus's place. The rest of you are inside. You have seen the scene of the crime. You've seen a little bit of blood in the corner. You all found a couple of clues. You decided to head upward after sending Alvin on a bit of a goose chase to go and find Olive. kind of let him realize, oh no, one of them is missing. The rest of you went upstairs. Two of you went into the two bedrooms that are at the top, one of them being very clean, very organized, the other looking more lived in. And then Irma, you decided to go up the ladder to the actual catwalk that surrounds the lighthouse light bulb. You're standing there, you're leaning over the edge to try and see, well, could somebody have fallen or would they had to have been pushed when you feel a set of hands on your shoulders. Before we figure out what the hell's going on there, I want to jump to where Olive is. Olive, you are walking around with Steven and you're kind of moseying along. What are you talking to Steven about right now?
I think probably trying to like get a little bit of like backstory information on him. I know last time we talked about he's like originally from Brindlewood Bay and his mom and stuff like that. But maybe just getting some more like why did you decide to come here? What is your interest in lighthouses? Like very much keeping the conversation focused on him because I feel like that's a very maybe this is stereotypical of me, but I feel like that's a very old lady like just like you tell me all the things. Tell me all the things about you. I want to hear all the things about you because you're young and you have all these things going on in life. So she's very much that kind of old lady, like really wanting to get some information. And then it works out for her because then she gets to learn some information about this person. But yeah,
This is true. Stephen is more than happy to oblige, is telling you how he's always been interested in lighthouses. He came here because it's the closest lighthouse. He got to meet Cyrus, loved what he did, even though Cyrus was kind of a cantankerous old guy. But he really, really enjoyed Cyrus's company. They really just kept to the two of them, didn't do much else as far as interacting with the rest of the city. If anything needed to, if anybody needed to go into town, it was always him who did that. He's kind of explaining to you the different areas of town, some of the faces that he's seen around, people that he's gotten to know. He mentions to you his friend Tara, who runs the uh, roadhouse in town. He mentions that Tara's wife Sandy is also a local resident of Mucky Point, is from Mucky Point. Tara herself moved here, met Sandy, and they decided to settle down and take over the roadhouse. Um, Stephen, of course, has the same very beautiful eyes that so far the two people that you've met in Mucky Point have the exact same colored eyes, despite not being related to each other. It's enough to kind of be a little weirded out, but so far it's okay. So far you're just rolling with it.
is that also weird because he's from Brindlewood Bay?
He is from Brindlewood Bay. He has the exact same colored eyes as everybody else.
Interesting, interesting. And also, hold on. You made a light bulb go off in Blair's head.
Blair's
I'm
about to pull
trying
out the red string and start
my
pinning it.
notes, my notes. Oh yeah, I'm very much that gif all the time. Um, there was a thing about I'm just trying to remember if this was just what Blair heard or if Olive was there with the whole thing about Tara. There was something about Tara.
That would have
Was that a
been what Blair
book?
heard.
Okay, then
Yeah.
never mind. Then Olive doesn't know shit. So
it
I'll
was
keep it down in my notes, but I don't know anything. Just like nice name, nice name.
it was mentioned in one of the clues that I think Helen has. I think it's the book that Helen
Gotcha.
has.
Yes, that is
Um
correct.
as you are walking and Stephen is telling you, and you kind of start to zone a little bit, and you kind of let that kind of let his words kind of wash over you, and you're, nodding along, and oh, that's so lovely, as is needed and appropriate in the conversation. You hear the unmistakable sound of a shotgun being racked. If you've ever heard a shotgun being racked, it's a very distinct noise. Whatever you've seen in the movies, yes, it sounds like that in real life. Uh, you glance ahead of you and you see peeking out of the bushes that are along the edge the barrel of a shotgun pointed upward. Do you do
Like
anything?
at us or like
Pointed up
up.
toward the top of the lighthouse.
Hmm. Ooh. I'm trying to think how reckless Olive is. I oh, I don't know if she would be. I don't know if she'd be that reckless because if for anybody who watched last time, I do have a pocket pistol in my purse.
Do you have a pocket
Um,
pistol in your purse?
so I don't know if she would be so fast to be like, 1 second, sweetie, pow," you know. Um, I don't think I don't think she's that she's that run and gun, but I think she's going to. Oh, and it was like cocked too. So mm, I'm trying to think what I think. This could end up really badly. I think she's going to. I think she's gonna throw her purse at the bush. Like I I'm just like I'm just trying to I think she's gonna throw um her purse at the bush. Um just kind of is listening to Steven, kind of like looking where she's going and also wanting to do like active listening and stuff like that. But kind of does a double take when she like hears and sees that, and then is gonna kind of try to like slip her arm out pretty fast and just go like and just throw her purse and ask questions later.
And kneading bread and dough takes a lot of muscle and energy. So Olive probably has a pretty decent arm.
I'm
Um,
so mad I didn't mark show someone you've still got it because I went back and forth and this would have been a perfect point for that.
would
Damn
have
it.
been really funny. Um, what? Go ahead and roll me. Well, okay. If you fail this roll, I'm going to ask you to roll vitality. If you fail this roll, what are you afraid is going to happen?
First thing that came to my head is that the gun's gonna turn to us.
Okay, that is your fear. Go ahead and roll me vitality. So
Should
roll
have said
2d6
should have said something simple like I lose my purse forever, like okay, 2d6.
and
A
then add
5
your
and a
vitality stat.
3 and 0. So add these together, correct? Uh,
Yes. So you have
8.
an 8. Wonderful. Um, where's my book? Where's my book? That's not even what I wanted. Um, 7 to a 9 is a yes with a complication. You throw your purse. What were you trying to do? Were you trying to distract? Were you trying to like hit the person? Like what's your goal here?
I think I think the aim is like, focus on a point, which is the barrel of the gun, and just try to knock it off whatever course it was lining up with, so it'll kind of like hit that.
Okay. Um, then I'll say absolutely. You hit the barrel of the gun. You It swings wide, but you overestimated or underestimated your strength, and you hit it hard enough that the barrel swings back into the bushes, and you have no idea where it's pointed now, but it is somewhere in the bushes. Before you move forward, somebody ran past Helen and Maxine, darted up the ladder. Are you two doing anything when this person runs up there?
I think I was in the middle of attempting to steal a photograph and like evidence from the place. So I think her Helen's main concern is don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Valid.
Um and quickly takes the photograph and then tries to exit the room pretending like nothing has happened and also trying to just find out who is running. I in her mind she assumes the cop is back, and we're in trouble because we like are snooping according to him. um well, he's not that wrong, but like she wants to appear, see how I came into this lighthouse, very demure, very mindful,
Very
you know,
cutesy.
very cutesy. I'm not doing too much. So she wants to just appear very much demure in that essence.
Okay. Um, you are rushing to get out of the get out of the room, close the door to make it look like there's nothing going on here. I'm gonna ask you to roll composure. What are you afraid of will happen if you don't seem composed, if you don't seem put together?
I'm afraid that the evidence that I'm hiding spills out.
Okay,
Um,
let's go ahead and roll
yes.
me 2d6 and add your composure stat, which I think for you is a +2.
No, it's a one. I have
Okay,
two in presence,
presence, that's right.
so I can yell at people. Just kidding. Okay, that's a total of six plus one is seven.
So that's a yes. And so you're able to close the door and look composed and look put together. But as you are sitting there and you think that you've pulled this off perfectly, a cat comes flying at you because Irma threw her cat at
Oh,
you to hold. And the cat that you had forgotten is now demanding attention and is clambering up on three legs, trying to get your
I,
attention.
she just yells, oh.
In the process, Pomegranate does accidentally scratch the picture that you have just nabbed, so
Oh,
damaging it. It's not torn to shreds, but it is clearly damaged by a cat's paw.
got it.
Maxine, what about you? You had been in that room looking around. You found a partial clue there, some kind of a newspaper clipping. But what are you doing when you see or hear this person run by and dart up the stairs?
I think Maxine has like a strange moment of small panic. Like, how did a person pass me that fast? And is sort of looking around uh, to see uh, what's going on. And then I think is going to go up the ladder, but then I think seeing what happens with the cat and Helen is going to turn and try to help with the cat.
Thank you.
Um, roll me only reason, and we're gonna see. This is just uh there's no risk. We're just rolling to see if you were able to catch anything of this person as they were running past before they made up the stairs.
All right. Was it 7 plus 2 for 9?
Wonderful. um you Oh, I gotta get to my character descriptions really quick. You happen to notice as this person was running past, a full a jean outfit, jeans, light wash blue jeans, and a jean vest with the shoulders ripped off. Um, and it looked like some kind of plaid underneath. This was a feminine person who just ran right up the stairs past you, um, and has made it now to the top of the lighthouse, where Irma, you feel two hands on the back of your shoulder, and for a brief second, you start to grab your cane to swing around and absolutely just take this person's head off when the hands very gently like overwrap the top of your shoulder and slowly pull you back, and you hear a voice saying, ma'am, what are you doing? Are you okay? And is pulling you back from leaning over this railing.
All right, since they sound nice, I won't throw them over yet.
That's good. That's good because it's a hot lesbian. So
Oh yeah! Fuck yeah! Okay. Um, Irma's gonna like for a second she like is holding the cane and then she hears a voice and she's like okay and she kind of like leans back a little bit and turns around and how hot are they how hot is she
I mean,
can
everybody's got their own opinions. This is a very classic lesbian, almost a mullet, kind of a shag haircut, pretty beefy. This is Tara Hill. She is one of the tavern keepers. She runs the Roadhouse. So she is used to tossing cases of beer. She's used to tapping kegs. So she is a fit, very capable woman. She's wearing a plaid long sleeve shirt with a denim vest over it, whitewashed denim jeans tucked into combat boots. She's got those same bright, lovely eyes, dark hair. She's a hot lesbian. I don't I don't know what to tell you.
I love this for me. Um, Irma's gonna like take a second because someone did just grab her and be like, "Oh, oh, hello. I'm okay. I'm sorry, dear. I didn't mean to worry you. I
You were leaning over we've been watching Genevieve, and Genevieve got startled and started barking, and so I wanted to make sure that you were okay. And why are you leaning over the railing?
I wanted to see how tall the lighthouse was.
Very tall. Um tall enough to kill a man. If you didn't hear the news, ma'am, let's surely you have somebody else with you who's gonna like kind of loop her arm through yours. Let's get you back down the ladder. I'm not really sure how you got up the ladder in the first place, um
I'm
but
very
it's
spry
going
for
to
my age.
I,
It's a
uh,
little-
apparently I saw the way you were reaching for the cane. I promise I'm not trying to do
Oh,
anything.
I appreciate it. Never can be too careful, and
Sure.
it's a
um
solid cane. So
Looks like it could do a lot of damage.
it can help me in that fight back in '99.
I respect it. Tara looks impressed. Tara absolutely looks impressed. She is going to start working her way down the ladder, keeping a very close eye on you, trusting that you will follow. Um, Works her way down back into this landing where we've got Pomegranate, um, tussling perhaps with Helen, Maxine
Yeah,
attempting to help.
I think it's.
Pomegranate.
Oh, Irma! Irma, get your cat! Oh my goodness, why did you leave her
The minute
here?
the minute Irma starts snapping for Pomegranate, she kind of just stops. It just walks over and sits at her feet.
Which which leg is missing?
The front right,
Okay. I just have to picture this correctly in my head
yeah.
of how Pomegranate walks. Um,
Irma, you really need to learn and to teach Pomegranate not to surprise people. I was just walking around minding my business, and then she just came out of nowhere and then
I
started.
told you I was handing her to you.
I I was not ready. I was not ready for the handoff. The
We'll
cat
work
needs
on
to
it.
learn. The cat
Well,
needs to learn.
she's
Pomegranate,
a baby.
Pomegranate. I understand. I understand you are just a newborn in this world, but you just need to learn how to respect your elders. Okay? You just slowly come up to them and say
She is
hello.
very mindful,
Ah, is she very mindful? Very demure? Is it?
very demure.
Okay, we will see. I haven't seen the demure part yet, but oh, it's giving me a fright.
Just have to get to know her a little bit more.
Okay, okay. Sorry, I
Pomegranate,
was.
you apologize to Helen. Pomegranate will be like, wow.
Oh, I cannot stay mad at you. Oh, very cute, very cute. And I pat her. Who is this? Looking up at I think what I presume to be Tara, the beautiful
Oh,
lesbian.
yes. What is your name, dear?
uh, my name is Tara. What? How many of you are there? Looks at Maxine. Who are you? What is going on?
We wanted to see the lighthouse. We're going on a road trip.
Oh yeah, hi. Very nice to meet you, Tara. My name is Helen. I'm here with my three friends. This is Irma. You just met her, and this is Maxine. And I don't know. Olive was just outside. She might be
I
around
think
here
There's
somewhere.
another one of you just wandering around out there?
she probably went back to get more sweets.
No, 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 no. We do not wander, okay? We go with purpose, we go with gratitude, and we go
Um,
with elegance. We are here to explore this beautiful town of yours.
Beautiful is an interesting word for Mucky Point. Um, I'm
Well,
not I'm not a
I think it's
local.
quaint.
I'm not
Oh,
from
okay.
here, so I know how weird Mucky Pointers are. Like I
I,
understand.
but sometimes you can find some diamonds in the rough.
Well, my wife is one of them, but unfortunately the rest of Mucky Point hasn't proven to be a diamond in the
Oh,
rough. But let's get you all out of here. This is technically, I think, still a crime scene, so I'm not quite sure how
Are they
you
oh,
all
still
got up
crime
here.
scenes after their accidents?
Well,
well,
all
your
that I
nice.
know is that we're not supposed to be up here.
Oh, it's okay. Your nice police officer. What's his name? The constable, the Shane
Theodore!
Theodore. Was it
Simon!
Theodore?
Alvin,
Alvin!
Al. Yeah, he was very kind to escort us here, making sure we are safe, and we are very safe.
kind is also not a word I'd use for Alvin, but I'm glad he's on his best behavior with all of you.
I called
Let's
him a bitch.
Well, you're not wrong. Let's let's get all of you downstairs, and Tara's going to start ushering the three of you back down the stairs. Really quick, I want to jump over to Olive. Olive, you've just thrown your purse into the bushes and this shotgun barrel has
Perfect.
gone
Yeah.
wide. Um Steven is next to you. Just ma'am, are you okay? Did something happen? Can I and like goes to start to go and get your purse for you.
Um, I think she will like grab him and kind of make it look more like a stability thing. Um, but is more kind of like don't go to the bush, but is kind of like don't let me fall. And then look towards the bush to see if anything is like is anything else happening with the bush.
Everything seems still. Seems still and
Okay.
quiet. You lock on in the way that little old ladies can somehow, some way when they don't
No.
want you to go anywhere and they just latch on really tightly. You have locked onto Steven's arm and he's kind of caught in between. Just oh, well, we should at least get your bag and is going to slow down, but is still going to try to walk toward it.
Uh, I think she's just gonna kind of like laugh it off and be uh, like, oh no, I think I slipped on a rock. Have you, you know, my grandkids showed me this video once of a woman who was scared by a car horn and she threw a whole jug of milk, just sent it sky high. I feel like if somebody would have been filming me, it would have looked exactly like that. Have you seen that video, Steven?
I have, but ma'am, I'm going to be honest. I've never been a little bit spooked and thrown something in my hand about 10 yards. That's
Oh, well, I slipped, so I it's a little different.
of course. I'm sorry. And has gotten over there, goes to grab your bag and hand it to you. So you're probably within, inches of the bush.
Okay. I think I think she's gonna I think she's gonna like as soon as she gets the purse back is gonna kind of like take it. This is awful. Is just gonna kind of take it and like act like she slips again and just like like over at the bush to make sure nothing is still there. But it's gonna try to play it off like she's slipping a little bit more. They said it was slippery rocks, so
Yeah. Um we should maybe and is going to the arm that you have your purse on is
mhm,
going to grab onto that arm instead so
okay.
that your purse stops flying places. Nothing happens with the bush. Nothing moves, you don't hear anything, you don't see anything.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, I think yeah, she'll probably just keep rambling about something and just like oh, my late husband used to always tell me how much of a klutz I was and this isn't new for me, you know. Don't worry, don't worry. As long as I'm standing on my own 2 feet, I'm fine. Just little slips every now and then, you know.
Uh Stephen is flabbergasted is a good word right now is very confused about this purse that you keep launching places, but is going to start guiding you around back toward the entry into the lighthouse. before the official reunion with everybody, Maxine, you are walking down the stairs, and Tara is kind of lingering back, um, to make sure that all of you are going actually going down the stairs. Tara is going to be the last one at the top, and she stops and glances at you, Maxine. It looked like at least one of you was in one of the bedrooms. Were you looking for something?
Uh, no, just looking around the lighthouse. I thought that the constable was with us when we came up the stairs, but yeah, he's not here. Lost track of him. Uh, yeah, uh, nothing to look for. Is there something to look for? Should I go back?
um Tara looks a little caught off guard when you say that. Well, I mean, it was an accident. It was a fall. So, um the constable, I don't know where he is. He's not in the lighthouse because I'm the only one in here aside from the three of you. I don't think it was an accident, okay? I think that somebody probably pushed Cyrus, all right? I don't know why. I don't know how, but anybody who knew him knew that he was the most sure-footed man when he was on his lighthouse, and a lot of people were not fans of him. Um, have you had a chance to talk to Thurgood?
Uh, Thurgood. Who is Thurgood? And Maxine pulls out the journal and is writing Thurgood in the journal.
Uh, Thurgood's another. My computer is freaking out. I am so sorry, y'all. What's happening? Something is wrong with my computer. Um, Thurgood is just he might be down at the roadhouse. Let me see if I can connect you with him. Just he's not the biggest fan of people from out of town, so I mean, I know you probably got that already with the constable, so just know that he's not going to be super keen on that, but um he'll probably be at the roadhouse. You can talk to him there. He had some strong opinions about Cyrus.
All right. Yeah, that sounds great. I wasn't really investigating what happened to Cyrus, but this does seem interesting. I do love a good mystery.
You how how honest is Maxine whenever she says that? How invested is Maxine specifically in solving this mystery versus um just being along for the ride and wanting to make sure that everybody else is safe and taken care of?
Um, I think so far because uh, the only like really clues that we've gotten that Maxine has been involved in don't really have a strong lean to like uh, solution or answer. Maxine falls in the world of interested that there could be something happening, but was more initially coming here to just come along with everyone because they wanted to go check it out.
I love that. Then I won't make you roll because it's not technically a lie uh that you were here to check out and see what was going on. Um you all are headed back down the stairwell and are reunited with Olive, who is with uh, Stephen Nichols. And I will say the constable is probably pretty close behind. So if there's anything that you want to say or do, right now it's Tara and Stephen that are with you. The constable is not here. I would say you have time for like a quick chit chat if there's something you're trying to say.
Olive, there you are. I was wondering where you wander off to. Do you know that the constable put your food on the floor by the step?
Oh,
That's
well,
so disrespectful. You know how dirty it is? How many people walk on the step with their shoes from outside in the ground
it's
on the dirt?
it's true. I don't really appreciate that too much.
Anyways,
He's a
here,
really
here.
grumpy guy.
I know, and he didn't even finish. You told him to finish the food. He didn't even finish the food. Can't even finish it. She hands you back the tray of the delicious like goodies. Um, and I think in that moment, I think Helen would like to like do some kind of weird eye contact between the other three to like say like hint at something that she knows uh, that she doesn't want to share even in front of like Tara and Steven. Um, saying, taking out her fan and kind of like fanning herself. Well, I think I've seen now the lighthouse is actually very pretty. Maybe we should go back to my car so that we can just check in with ourselves and maybe see if we want to see the rest of the town now.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Are you this is Tara speaking. Are you all parked far? I can help you get to your car maybe. Kind of keeps glancing at Irma.
Oh, I don't think it's that far. We just parked by, I think it was down the street, was it? The cop car should be there also. He kind of put up behind it, you know, making a little bit of a fuss, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead, Knox.
Irma kind of looks like she was about to say something and then thinks about it like, not because I was gonna say it's like people have a habit of sneaking up on people in this town, but that would come across mean.
Um you make you mentioned Helen about Alvin, and Tara nods, kind of rolls her eyes, looks at Steven. We know how Alvin is. And looks like he's getting here now. Let's um Helen and Maxine, roll me presence
okay.
just to see how trustworthy Tara thinks that you two are. Since the other two have kind of tipped off alarms for both Steven and Tara, I'm not going to have you two roll.
Okay. Oh, dropped
Presence
the
is
dice. Dropped the
0.
dice.
Can I roll just for the hell of it?
You can, but it could detract from their success if they succeed.
Never mind.
I
Give me
got
the
an
damn.
8.
I
8
got a 7.
and a 7. Okay, both yes and. Um Tara like kind of looks at Alvin approaching, glances at the two of you. Um Let me just hang on for a second, okay? And
Okay.
is going to go intercept Alvin, and you see them kind of having hushed words, and Tara nodding and gesturing back to the four of you before she comes back. I told him that you all are headed to the Roadhouse for dinner after this. So just go to your car, but just make sure that you're there, okay? I'm gonna try and make sure that he feels a little bit better about everything.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. And yeah, we would love to try the local cuisine. Uh, I'm sure it's delicious.
Uh, I mean, I'm biased. I own it, but you know,
Oh,
we'll we'll see what you all think. Just and glances at Steven. Just keep an eye on them, would you?
Oh,
Uh,
Olive, give Tara something, a sweet to go.
As you like Irma like turned to say that, Olive is already like getting her napkins, the purse napkins out to like grab Tara like one, and it's just like, oh, yes, and is gonna like give one to Tara, give one to Steven, and then all the rest of them she's gonna pull out like a gallon Ziploc and put them in the gallon Ziploc and hand it to because I guess, are we staying in the lighthouse, or do you think, are we, or is Tara gonna pass the constable first?
Tara's gonna go and continue to talk to him to try to get him to leave y'all alone.
Perfect. So she's gonna put that all those in the Ziploc and just be like, Tara, dear, can you give the constable the rest of these? He told us how much he loved them.
Oh, sure. I'm sure it's gonna make him feel a lot better. Uh, we'll take and looks at the one that you've handed her, takes a pretty big bite of it, kind of stops. Brandy, and then we'll head out over to the constable. The camera would pan over to show Tara, just like not even saying anything, just hands him the bag. He like doesn't want to take it. She reaches out, grabs his hand, puts it, pulls it up so that she can put the bag of sweets in his hand. As they are kind of talking, Stephen is still there with all of you, but it is the four of you and Stephen, depending on where you would like to head next. What's up?
Would the rest of us recognize Steven?
No. Uh,
Because he grew up in Brindlewood Bay,
grew up
and
in
we know
Brindlewood
his
Bay.
mom.
Yes, and know his mom. He's been here for a while, so you would, if he said his name, you'd probably recognize the name and the family. But he's been here, I think, probably at least 10 years, so he looks a little bit different than the last time you all saw him.
I
What's your
remember.
name, sweetie?
Oh,
Uh, Stephen. Um, you all are a lively bunch. I'm Stephen Nichols.
Marsha's son.
Yeah. Looks at Olive. Are these all
Oh,
your friends? You all knew my mom, I guess?
no, I didn't. I don't think I know her very well, but I know of her, more acquaintance. Have you called her recently?
Yeah. We
Yeah?
call like once a week. Once a week I talk to her.
Oh,
I
good,
try
good,
to
good. You're such a good son.
I try to go for dinner every Sunday at her place just to,
Oh, that
make sure that I'm around.
you are such a good boy. Oh my goodness. I try to get my children to sometimes call me, but they don't even have a single minute of time to call or do it. Send me even a text, and not even an emoji sometimes. It makes me a little bit sad, but I get it. I get it. They're all adults. They have lives to live. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do naggy sometimes. I understand. But you're a very good boy, And she kind of like pats him and like does a little like pat and like rub on his head. Um,
Uh thank you. You can tell
oh,
that it means a lot to him, and also he's kind of sweating because he didn't want to disappoint you. He was like, "Oh no, I don't want her to think I don't talk to my mom enough." Instantly. Thank you so much. That's really kind of you.
yeah.
I'm sorry your kids don't talk to you much. That's unfortunate.
Oh, it's okay. I understand. They got the gene from me. I love to do adventures, but they are on their own adventure now. So I get it. You have to fly, your own race or whatever the saying is. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
I.
yeah.
What do you do here?
Um, Once everything is sorted, I was an apprentice for Cyrus. I'm the new lighthouse keeper now.
Oh my goodness. Such a good boy. I already know you're going to take care of this lighthouse very well.
It was really important to Cyrus, and I was telling your friend Miss Olive here. I'm a pretty big fan. I've always really liked lighthouses, and so this was the closest one I could get to from Brindlewood Bay. So I decided to come here.
Oh, I'm so glad you chased your passion. Mm, so touching.
I appreciate it. Are you all? Should I escort you over to the Roadhouse for dinner? I
Oh,
heard Tara saying.
yes, would love to. Love, thank you so much. You're so kind and thoughtful.
Of
She
course.
puts her hand out, her arm out to be held by him. Um,
There is no hesitation. Instantly goes to your side, gets your
one,
arm to make sure. Just yeah, perfect
he's been
form.
adopted. He's been adopted by
Nothing can
his
happen to
owner.
him now.
yes.
Can.
Look, we'll see. Okay, RP to find out, guys. RP to find out.
Repeat if I.
Uh, uh, s- Helen wraps her arm around Steven. Irma's gonna put her hands kind of on Olive and Maxine to like pull them back just a little bit. Because you said his eyes are the same color as everybody else in Lucky Point.
Hmm.
So I'm RPing to find out. Are Marsha's eyes the same color?
Um, would you have noted Marsh's eyes?
I feel like you said she like cleans like disabled people's houses and stuff like that, right?
In general, a housekeeper. She's a
Like a
housekeeper who's worked
general
with.
housekeeper.
Yeah.
Then Irma probably would have hired her a couple of times. So I
If you
feel
would
like
clock
Irma
her
would know her.
eyes, if you would clock her eyes, no, she does not have the same color eyes as what Stevens are.
Does Tara have the same color eyes? And yes, Irma was looking at Tara's eyes. He's hot.
Yes, Tara has the same color's eyes as Steven, as everybody else in Mucky Point.
Okay, yeah. So Irma been like, that's interesting. I want to find a picture of Cyrus at some point.
Wasn't there was there a newspaper? Am I
With
just
with
making that up?
with the
There
newspaper, it
was
printed a
there was a
picture of him.
torn news. Yeah, there was a torn newspaper clipping, but I
Yeah.
haven't. It's all with me. I'm just waiting to.
Well, there was
No,
also the one announcing that he died, and usually obituaries like that would have a picture of the dead person. But I don't know
Mhm.
if the newspaper would have printed it in color.
oh, that's true.
A
This is
quick
just me trying to know what what I know and what Olive knows, so just talking out loud.
clarification: did Helen or did Maxine find the torn newspaper?
Oh, sorry. Probably Maxine.
Okay,
Yeah.
just
Um,
double
I
checking.
think I got it confused with the picture.
Gotcha.
I was like, I found something. I just couldn't remember which one.
All good. Just for my own edification, because um that was only a partial clue, so I got to make sure that the right person finds the rest of the clue. Um.
G-
Okay. Sorry. Please continue. My bad.
No, you're good. My brain fogged. But yeah, I think Helen would just slowly be walking ahead with Steven, kind of expecting him to like take care of her, like she was his mother. Also, it's kind of a weird test as well. It is both like I adore you, but like I'm also gauging how good of a son you are, even though you said already that like you have called your mother. I think she would still like inquire about his life, be like, oh, so are you dating anybody? Are you with anyone? You know, I know that it's past my prime these days, but I get a lot of joy seeing the younger people in love going
Uh,
around.
Stephen tells you about this lovely young man that he plans to marry. He's going to propose soon. Tells you that he's already met Stephen's mom, Marcia, that Stephen has met his soon to be fiance's parents. Um,
Oh,
all the while is pointing out, we'll be careful when you step here. It gets a
oh,
little bit slick, or don't catch your heel on this one, and
thank
making
you.
sure that you get there safely. Um,
So what does
is
he do? Is a
uh,
profession.
oh,
You,
he's a writer, which is
oh,
not,
right.
not always the most
Not the, yeah,
profitable, but
creative.
yes, yeah,
I
yeah,
understand. Sometimes you have to follow your passion, even if it's in the creative path. Yeah, 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 yeah.
exactly, yeah. He's visited the lighthouse. He's used it for a little bit of inspiration. So, um,
Oh,
but it, yeah, he supports
he's
me
right.
and I support him.
Oh, that is so sweet. I'm so happy for young love. What is his name?
Andrew.
Oh, okay. Very good. You and Andrew. Do you have a picture?
Uh, sure. And we'll pull out his phone and show you. Shorter, blonde, curly hair. Um, Brown eyes. Looks pretty stereotypical. Looks pretty fit. Probably plays sports or something like that.
Ah,
But a picture of them smiling as his background on his phone.
oh, that's so cute. You guys look very good together. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, y'all probably getting pretty close to the lighthouse. The other three, are y'all discussing the eye color of our Mucky Point residents, or are y'all just continuing on quietly? Or something else?
I I do think since it didn't happen too long ago, I think Olive would take a moment to say, "Girls, and we should definitely watch out. There was I I know I'm old, but there was a you said it was it a rifle or a shotgun? It was a shotgun, right?
Yeah, shotgun.
Yep. There was a shotgun in the bushes and like not just there, like being held and pointed up. But then whenever I got close to the bush, nobody was there.
Pointed up
And I know I don't have the best eyesight, but I heard it too.
Where was it pointing? Like what direction?
Up, like at the lighthouse. Like
At the top of the lighthouse?
I think so. Oh,
Uh,
sorry, my camera just went blurry.
Olive, I was at the top of the lighthouse.
That's
I
not
leaned over the rail.
that's not good. Um, hmm. Seems like Mucky Point might be a little bit more dangerous than we expected. And that's after a murder happened, or past murder happened.
Murder. What? Well, Maxine, what do you think? Murder?
D- Uh, 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 the evidence doesn't really say murder yet. We could get there. I- Maybe, possibly.
It's
I
a
hope
murder
for
question.
you that it's a murder.
Murder until proven otherwise.
But yes, I don't know if I mean we've found no clues of disappearing weapons, right? Or disappearing ghosts with guns.
Definitely nothing about ghosts with guns.
Tara said we gonna check Kian. Tara said we were with somebody who started barking, right?
Yes, Genevieve.
So Tara and somebody else were with the dog who I need to meet.
Uh, Tara said we were watching Genevieve when she started barking. Was the sentence? Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? I wasn't sure what your question was, so I was
Yes.
just repeating the information.
That was the question.
Okay,
So that
just making
means
sure.
Tara was with somebody else
Yes,
And the
and a dog.
and a
and
dog.
I need to meet the dog. That's not relevant right now. It is relevant in my heart though, and I need you to know that. Okay, so that's um Tara was with somebody else.
I mean, other than Stephen and the constable, I haven't seen anyone. And Stephen didn't see the gun, or at least he didn't seem to see the gun.
There's at least one other person in this area, apparently. And a dog. I'm hoping a golden retriever. Or a husky. Or a Rottweiler. This is not the point. Either way,
Maybe we should ask Tara who she was with and if they like guns and if they carry guns on their dog walks.
I, mm, I,
what are your feelings on the Second Amendment?
I mean, just good information to have, you know, who likes and doesn't like guns, it's, I mean,
I say we leave that to Helen to ask.
it's true. Helen is very good at asking all the questions. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. Just it was a little startling, and I tried my best to, you know, catch them in the act, but it doesn't really work when they disappear. And no, I only had one Chelsea bun, so I haven't had that much brandy. If that's what you're thinking, ladies.
I wasn't. I've had three.
Oh, and I'm glad you like them.
They're
Thank you. Thank you.
delicious.
Okay, I'll add that. I think Olive would have a little kind of like pocket book, like a little tiny pocket notebook, and she's gonna write down there. It's like every single page is split into like a one side check, one side X, and she's gonna write Chelsea buns on the check side because they have been approved. So just kind of put that back in.
You all are having this conversation and arrive. This is I'm gonna derail for a second to complain about something very stupid. I don't know what's wrong with my computer, but I'm having to use my mouse to hold the scroll on the right hand side, the scroll bar. And because if I scroll, it's sending my page like it's going backwards and forwards with the whole page. It's totally messing everything up.
Wait, mine is doing that too right now.
I don't know what it is, but let me tell you, I forgot we had scroll bars on the right hand side because I never use it. I'm struggling a little bit, but we're getting there. Um, you all arrive at the Golden Bull Roadhouse. Um, it's dimly lit. It smells like beer and cheap fried food. There is a lazy fan spinning overhead. There's dartboards. There's a dartboard on one side. There's a broken casino machine on another. It's a dive bar in every sense of it. It's very sparsely populated right now. Um, Maxine, I'm going to ask you the paint the scene question. The Golden Bull was originally a lodge for a group of spiritualists in the 1920s. What did they leave behind?
Um, I think, man, what could they have left? That's kind of interesting. Um, Jeez. Uh, I imagine like some sort of like intricate like woodworking piece that they could take down if they wanted to, but the amount of work to take it down and then putting something up in its place was just too much that they left it there. And it's sort of like branches and like, I imagine it being like one of those wreaths that are not made of, uh, you know, um, the pine variety, but the ones that are made out of branches that sort of interconnect. And it's sort of like a wall piece that's just like all these branches and stuff. And they just didn't want to work to take it down.
Which is honestly so valid because it's probably the most ornate and beautiful thing in this entire building. It doesn't quite fit, except that you can tell that everybody has just embraced it as another weird thing about Mucky Point. So we'll say that this is next to that broken casino arcade game is this beautiful ornate wooden carved piece showing all of these branches and reeds. We'll say that interwoven into it there's sort of outlines of animals and some specific flowers and things like that. It just looks beautiful and detailed and clearly took a lot of time for somebody to make. um you all walk in to the Golden Bull Roadhouse. Behind the counter is another woman. Um, Tara is talking to her from outside of the counter, kind of seems to be leaning in to quietly speak with her. Here's all of you walk in, Stephen and Helen at the front, and turns and kind of does a wave over, gestures Stephen and all of you to come stand over by her where she is at the bar. Y'all are more than welcome to agree or disagree to that request.
Helen is polite. She's not going to um, pass down an invitation, especially now that she knows like Tara is the owner of this establishment. I think she will like move towards there, but I think she'll like turn to the other girls and say like, uh, maybe we can take a table somewhere near maybe the reef. It's very pretty, you know. Have a nice little dimly lit candle setting, you know. I'm going to see what Tara wants. Do you want to follow me, or do you want to get a table?
I do. I want to follow you. I have a question for Tara.
Okay,
Oh, are cats allowed in this establishment?
The
perfect timing.
timing was so
Perfect
good.
timing. Perfect timing.
That was so good. Thank you, Hazel.
Oh my god, she's a star. Oh,
Um,
Oh,
are
keep
you
going.
are you asking Kian? Are you asking who are you asking about the cats? Is that a hypothetical right now?
as a hypothetical, I'm about to go ask Tara,
Gotcha.
as
Okay,
as I also ask her who is she with and can I meet her dog.
got it. Okay. Is anybody else heading over with Helen and Irma to go and talk with Tara? Or are y'all grabbing a table?
I'm fine with grabbing a table.
Okay. Maxine, where you headed?
I think I'm gonna go up, talk to Tara about the third good thing. So,
Okay, sounds good. So the three of you head up to speak with Tara. Olive, you go and grab a table. Um, there are not there's like two tables that actually have pull-out chairs. They're not particularly comfortable, but they seem the most accessible. Everything else seems to be bar stools or bench style seating. Um, so you go and grab a table. The menu consists of everything that you would expect to see at a dive bar: cheese sticks, chicken tenders, strangely enough, shrimp fried rice. One of my favorite dive bars in Florida is right next to a Chinese place, and they deliver the
Nice.
shrimp fried rice to you while you're sitting at the bar, and it was so good. Um,
Nice.
it was a lot of fun. So a decent enough spread on the menu, but nothing particularly fancy or elegant. There's a sign that says "Order at the bar," but Steven is with you, and he takes that seat with you and says, "Oh, don't worry about that. I can go and order, or Tara will come over and take our order." The rest of you are headed up. You see Tara talking to another woman with a very messy apron on. She's got red hair that's curly red hair that's kind of tied up into a messy bun at the top of her head. Um, she has those same mucky point colored eyes, and kind of is nodding along to Tara the closer you two get. Does that pointed thing where you notice somebody walking up behind the person that you're talking to, and so stands up really quickly and like interrupts the conversation to, "Oh, hi, you must be Tara's new friends. Y'all are all visiting from somewhere, is that right?"
Oh yeah, we are from Brindlewood Bay. We were just here in town, looking to see the sights, and Tara was so kind to, escort us from the lighthouse and invite us to her wonderful establishment here. It is so nice. As she kind of gestures to the dive bar, as she says it's so nice. Um, I think it's very what is the word that children use? Rustic. It has the nice rustic taste to it, and I really, really like it. Mm.
Um, uh, that's Thank you. It's I can't say rustic is exactly what we were going for, but rustic works for the aesthetic. My name is Sarah Hill. Uh, Tara's my wife. She's been telling me about all of you.
Ah, it's so nice to meet you. Oh, a lovely couple I can see already. She like kind of looks between the two of them to see if there is any tension between them or if they were just having like a normal conversation. I don't know if that's a weird question to ask.
No, 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 not a weird one. No tension, but whenever you met Tara, Tara seemed to be a little bit more friendly than most Mucky Pointers, seemed to be a little bit more engaged. And Sarah is also more engaged, but it almost seems like Tara is more reserved now, which is interesting. It's not the same vibes that you were getting. So there isn't any tension. Nobody seems upset or anything, but Tara does seem a little bit more reserved um, now that she's
I think
here with her wife.
Helen will continue and say, "Oh, you must be the diamond. Tara was mentioning you earlier at the lighthouse. You are a beauty, aren't you?"
Um, Sarah beams just and Tara looks pretty bashful, goes bright red, kind of tucks her head down, and Sarah beams and leans across the bar, puts her hand over top Sarah's, starts rubbing the back of her hand a little bit.
How how long have you both been together?
We met what, 10 years ago now, so been married for about 8.
Oh, congratulations. That's a long time. My goodness, what was this? I think one of my longest marriages probably about, you know, f- uh, 8 years also, but then he decided to not be a good person and then I left him. So,
Well, you should always keep your standards high. That's absolutely true.
very good. You know, I always think it's very interesting. Relationships is such an important thing. I noticed that everybody here seems to be so how to put it a little bit
Rude as all hell?
what no, not rude. And she kind of like nudges her a little bit, being like, I'm trying to like weave a nice compliment, but also suggest something as Irma just states the truth. Um, but what my dear friend Irma is saying is not rude. I think it's just, a very particular kind of manner um, that is very brusque, and maybe not everyone is used to it. I coming from different culture, sometimes, people misunderstand me or I misunderstand them. So I get it, it can be a little bit prickly on the edges, but like I mentioned to Tara earlier, diamond in the rough. I am very interested to see the rest of the diamonds in this place.
Well, I'm sure Tara told you, but there's not many here. Rude is a pretty common word when it comes to people from Brindlewood Bay. We're not exactly fond of those of y'all a little farther south of us. So, but
Oh,
it's all dumb competitions. It's really shouldn't
I
count for
agree.
anything.
You know, not everybody can be the best at everything. I understand that. And speaking of a relationship with people, how is the community handling, the dear accident of your lighthouse keeper? I know Steven said he was an apprentice of Cyril.
Um, you see Sarah kind of nudge, or like kind of like jostle Tara's hand a little bit. See, they get it, an accident. It's, it's not exactly that Cyrus was the most popular among us, but it's
Oh,
sad.
Cyrus. Sorry, I thought his name was Cyril. My
It's,
memory.
you're fine, you're fine. He wasn't exactly a treat to be around, you could say. Kind of the grumpiest and worst of us, really. And so the lighthouse suited him, and now he's dead, and that's, tragic. And Stephen seems to be handling it fine, gestures to where Stephen and Olive are sitting at a table. Stephen seems okay, so that's all there is to it.
Oh. Well, I'm glad he's okay with it. Was the funeral at least good?
Um, Looks at Tara, glances back at the group. I wouldn't know.
Oh, I'm
Small,
sorry.
probably. Uh, you don't exactly get a lot of people attending your funeral when you're that hateful of a bastard, so
Oh, what did he do? I'm sorry. I cannot help myself. Sometimes I do love gossip.
just just so committed to that lighthouse he wouldn't even let them tear it down last year for some important development. Him and
Oh,
Eleanor at
what?
the museum, they lobbied and said it's historic landmark and it's so important to the history of the town, as though it does any good. There's not really any ships that come through the harbor here. Anybody who
Oh,
does come through this way isn't exactly stopping for Mucky Point, let's be realistic. So
What
I
was the
mean,
development?
uh they were going to build some condos or apartments or something, some kind of a high rise or another.
Housing, very important, very important.
Yes, yeah, that for all the people moving to Mucky Point. Look, again, Cyrus was fine, okay? I was not his biggest fan. He was a ridiculous old guy, and Tara kind of cuts in. He was old and he was cranky, but he didn't deserve to
hmm.
die like that. And Sarah cuts her off. Well, some way or another, he had to go, and now he's gone. And so I think the town is better off without him, if you ask me.
Oh, so sad. Uh, you mentioned Eleanor. Who is that? Is he his girlfriend?
Uh,
Wife?
oh no, I hope not. I don't think anybody would put up with Cyrus that much. No.
Oh,
Her name is Eleanor Hurley. She runs the museum, the Mucky Point Museum here.
oh.
the little lighthouse museum that her and Cyrus would spend time and energy toward. I don't really know, but
Oh, so his only friend is it? Is she his only
yeah,
friend?
Eleanor and then Stephen, I suppose. Genevieve was always pretty okay about him and gestures to the dog. There's a pit bull that's curled up in the back, kind of all nestled
Oh,
around.
oh,
Kind
so
of
sweet.
cocks her head up, looks, puts her head back down.
I mean, it cannot be that bad if the dog likes him. Normally, you know, man's best friend has a good nose for people.
Tara does the same kind of gesture where she kind of jostles Sarah's hand. See, Cyrus couldn't have been that bad, just like Helen said. This is this is a lot of talk about the drama here in town. You all go take your
Ah,
seats. I'll
okay,
get you
yes,
some menus and
thank you, thank you.
of
Oh
course.
dear, are cats allowed?
Sure, sure. Genevieve has never minded another animal, so
Oh, lovely. Can I pet? Is that allowed?
sure. And
Yes.
Tara will whistle. Genevieve comes around to kind of nose at you, sits absolutely accepting the pets.
I'm happy for the rest of the day. It's okay. You can kill her, but it's fine. The dog.
Wow, wild.
That was it. That was the mystery. You all just need to solve where the mystery of the dog was. Now we're done. Everyone can die.
Per-
Um you all or Maxine, was there something that you wanted to talk to with Tara about? You were gonna ask about Thurgood? Is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah. I was gonna do that. But also I think during that whole time, uh, Maxine is writing notes in the book, but like flipping through pages and like writing small things and flipping through pages, and flips to the page where it says Thurgood and is like, um, you had mentioned at the lighthouse that there was a Thurgood that I should speak to. Are they here? Have you talked to them? Is that a
Tara
thing?
Tara turns to you at the same time that Sarah kind of huffs and rolls her eyes. I'm gonna go back to the kitchen. Heads toward the back as Tara nods. Sorry. Sarah's convinced that there was not a murder here. But obviously I'm not. I think something strange happened. Um, kind of glances around and gestures to a gentleman in the back. He is sitting kind of by himself and he seems kind of slumped in. Uh, and she says, "That's Thurgood. He's kind of quirky, I guess, is the way he's really into the sea, like really into the sea. Um, so he's a little easier to talk to when he's not by the ocean. So he might be open to it now, but it's been a long day. But Codswallop is his last name. Him and his brother own the bait and tackle store here. Um, and he's not, he's a little quirky in the way that Cyrus was also a quirky person. So maybe he might have known something. That's my best guess. Eleanor probably knows a little bit more, but Thurgood spent a lot of time. He spends all his time out on the water, and I think probably was out there the night that Cyrus died. So he might have seen something. Is my best guess.
Okay. I will go chat with him. Eleanor writes that in the book and then closes it. uh,
Before I head away back to the center table, I think I'll lean into Tara for a moment and just say, uh, maybe a little bit of unsolicited advice, but I've been through a lot of relationship before, and sometimes there can be a little bit of edginess and a little bit of conflict, just because of a difference of a belief and things like that. I think communication and a little bit of grace. Huh? Just give her a little bit of time. I'm sure she will do the same for you. And she kind
She
of like pats her.
she has always been patient with me. It's a good reminder. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. And oh, I personally, if you want to make this place a little bit more rustic, you just have to have a little bit of those antique lamps, and then you put it here and you put it there, and then you just like light it up, and then you put a little thing over the lamp. Done. Or then you can also get those. What is it called? The dead animal head, and then you put it around on the wall. You know.
Yeah. We could definitely. I'm not a hunter. Sarah isn't either, but
Oh, it doesn't have to be real animal. You can get it for I don't know what they call it, the Amazon place, Timu or something like that. You just order it and then it's like a plastic. It doesn't have to be real. You just put it there and it looks real because it's already dark. Nobody can tell it's plastic, you know.
okay,
So
that's actually a really good idea because I don't think I'd feel comfortable having the head of an animal here, but that's a good
understand.
idea. I'll try to talk it over with Sarah.
Mm, mm.
Thank you.
Walks away.
The three of you head over to the table where Olive and Steven are. We will. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, is there a jukebox in this establishment?
There's a jukebox with very limited offerings. What are you looking to play?
Is ABBA on the jukebox?
Only because you asked. Yes, ABBA is on the jukebox.
Dancing Queen is now blaring throughout the establishment, and I think you'll see, like, as you all come to the table, Olive comes back and is just like, ladies, and is gonna kind of do like a like as much as a person whose hips don't really move. Yeah, just kind of like a wobble, just like walking back over to the table. It was
Oh,
getting too
Olive,
quiet. It was getting too quiet in here.
this takes me back.
It's our song, you guys. It's our song.
It's our song.
If we're gonna
Um,
have a dancing moment, I will dance. Helen will drop it. You know, she will dance.
Helen's gonna prove that she still got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I did not check that box either.
Anybody looking over
um,
just sees like the little like just four old ladies that just kind of look like the hula dancers that you put on the on a dashboard of a car just
yes,
whoop, 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 whoop,
kind of
whoop, whoop.
wobbling.
And Steven's just like what to do.
Steven, dance with us! Dance with us!
Steven sitting and watching while the four of you dance to Dancing Queen by ABBA, which I cannot play because of money, but
Yes.
audience, you can absolutely go and listen to the song. I'll probably put it on during break. Um, but I think that that is an excellent time for us to take a quick breather for our players and for the audience. So get up, stretch your legs, take a drink of water, pet some pets if you've got them. We will be back in about 10 minutes. So sit tight. We will be back shortly. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Brindlewood Bay. Um, we find ourselves inside the Golden Bull Roadhouse. This is the local eatery here in Brindlewood Bay. Dive bar vibes, aside from this ornate, absolutely beautiful woodwork piece that is hanging on the wall that was too much work to take down and now is kind of elevating the whole experience, but indicative of the spiritualists that overtook this place in the 1920s. Um, the four of you are dancing to ABBA, Dancing Queen, and Steven is sitting and watching and laughing. Tara is bringing over menus for y'all to order from. But what are y'all up to next? I will say we'll officially enter the night phase at this point. So this is when things become a little bit riskier for audience purposes. At the night phase, the keeper is given a little bit more power to make things worse for the players if the opportunity presents itself. So that's kind of where we're at. So we're officially in the night phase. But what are y'all up to um, as all this is happening, aside from dancing and getting your groove on? What are y'all doing?
I think the moment Steven steps away from the table to give put in our orders, I, as the song dies down, I think Helen gathers the group and is like, "So I found this thing in one of the very, very messy rooms. It was very weird. Um, and I also found this other book near a stain on the floor. Why they had it there, I really don't know. But in the margins in this book, it is The Art of War. And it was saying like some of these techniques can be used against Terra. And I didn't know who Terra was, but now we know who Terra is. And then I found this picture up there in that messy room, and it's and I pulled the picture out. You said it was scratched, not destroyed. It typically was a picture of four people, and I think it was like Stephen, Tara, Sarah, and one more person that I couldn't remember.
Uh,
Uh,
Let me. I think it was just the three.
oh, okay, cool. I couldn't remember if it was three or four people.
Yeah, I want to say it was just the three of them.
Cool. Um, and I pull out the picture um, that's been scratched. Does it like scratch away like parts, like people's faces, or like what? How is it damaged in the?
We'll say that the scratch is kind of just like across like the top left-hand corner of it, and so it caught most of Sarah's face in that scratch. The other two
Okay,
faces you can still make out.
okay. As I put it down, like, oh, it seems that these three knew each other. Um, they were a little bit younger. They seem happier here. Not happier, but like younger and a little bit gleeful, even though Sarah was not very keen on Cyrus. Uh, the names are at the bottom, right, underneath each person. So even though we
Correct.
can't see Sarah's face, we see her name. So they must be kind of close or something. Did you guys find anything while you were gone or on your own?
I she doesn't pull it out of her out of the cat bag. She goes, I found bottle in one of the blowholes. Nope, those are whales.
Yep, porthole.
Portholes.
It's okay. It's okay. I understand. I understand what you mean.
So many holes.
Yeah,
God damn it. I
it's
found in the window one of those a bottle of whiskey, a bottle like a whiskey bottle, and there's a diamond ring at the bottom.
oh, interesting.
It it's in pomegranate's bag. I don't want to pull it out just in case though.
Oh, okay.
But that's a weird place to put a diamond ring.
There's definitely a way if you're trying to keep it out of, a place where people can find it, I guess. But also, how are you gonna get it? Do you just
I
like
mean, I
break?
suppose we could just turn the bottle over.
Oh,
It
that's much
just
better. I was thinking of just breaking the bottle. Yeah.
well, it's a diamond too, isn't? It's gonna
Well, the
scratch
diamond's
the.
not going to break. The bottle is going to break.
I was gonna say that seems like wouldn't you want to put it in a thing that the diamond
On
couldn't
a
break?
person's finger. Yeah.
It's very impractical.
I agree. I
Kids these
agree.
days don't think.
They don't know what to do. They keep saying that we are, pasa pra, we don't get the new lingo
Mhm.
or whatever they say. But then they put ring in a bottle. Really? That's not
That's
where
not
rings
gonna hide
go.
it. I found
That's
it.
not where diamonds go. Yeah. Anyways, did either of you find anything else?
I found a newspaper clipping in the other bedroom while you were looking across the hall. Other than that, the room was very neat. So this seemed kind of strange, but it's missing part of it, uh, which is strange. Perhaps they ripped it off. They didn't want people to read it. Perhaps it just is a thing with time.
What did the
Uh,
what does it say over there?
it, well, nothing really.
Oh,
It's a newspaper clipping about Cyrus, and the rest of it is pretty much gone. I don't. He's involved in something, and I don't know what it is.
oh, maybe it was the what Sarah was just saying just now. The whole thing. Oh, all of you missed it. I got a little bit of gossip. So not a lot of people like Cyrus here, but they, were fine because he was by himself in the lighthouse. But then apparently people wanted to tear the lighthouse down. So him and a person named Eleanor, who I think runs the museum, petitioned against it. So they didn't end up tearing it down. They say it was like, culturally significant to the place. It was historical, which I also agree. Um, so that was happening. But Sarah does not like Cyrus, even even though Tara thinks he's okay. But Sarah is not about it, not about that man. You know.
Hmm. Well, the only thing that I found was a shotgun in a bush.
I'm sorry.
Um, there was okay. I
Where is
it,
the shotgun now?
um I don't know. I think
You don't know
I
where the giant gun went.
so here's what happened.
Okay.
I was walking with Steven, and then I saw a shotgun in a bush being pointed towards the top of the lighthouse, which is
Oh.
odd because Irma said that she was at the top of the lighthouse. And then whenever I saw it, I threw my purse at it. It hit it,
Oh my
and then
goodness.
the shotgun went into the bush, and then we got closer because Stephen
You
is
got
very
closer
nice.
to the shotgun in the bush?
It was Stephen went to go grab my
Oh.
purse. Stephen went to go grab my purse, and so
Oh
I did a second whack into the bush, and nothing. There was no one. So
my goodness.
I am not sure what that means.
You
There's
are
more
so brave.
question.
First
Thank
you
you.
throw your purse at the shotgun, not knowing whether the shotgun will explode your purse or not, and then you decided to go towards the shotgun and then slam it into the bush again with your
Well,
purse, not
I was
knowing
very
where it was aiming in the
I
bush.
was really worried about Steven. I didn't want Steven to get shot.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was worried at who the gun was pointed at in the first place. So I that was the first thing that came to my mind, honestly.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you are okay.
Me too.
Did you check the bush to see the shotgun was still there?
Well, that was the second whack of my purse, and
Oh,
other than that, I wasn't able to check. So we could possibly go back to see, but nothing came out of the bush.
okay. Okay.
I know
Maybe
it
that's
wasn't as
that's good.
helpful as I wanted it to be.
No, 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 no. I mean, maybe it will stay there and nothing will happen. Mm,
That would I think that would be the best case scenario for
yeah,
the shotgun to just remain in the bush. But it was really weird because we didn't see anyone else other than Stephen and the constable and Tara, and
Steven
we're
didn't say anything about the shotgun.
he didn't see it at all.
He didn't see it. Oh, that's weird.
Maxine, with all the books that we know that Maxine wrote books, right? Do we know that Maxine's a writer?
I actually don't think so.
Okay.
I thought we did. Maybe I forgot wrong.
Uh,
That's up to you.
Yeah.
You tell me.
yeah, I
You tell
don't
us.
think so. I think Maxine was a was like a writing teacher, right? Taught writing courses at like a local college and wrote books in secret under the pseudonym. Uh,
Ah, so we know you're a writing teacher.
yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay. I think the question might still work then. Maxine, with all the research you've probably had your students do you know if guns can be set up to go off by themselves? Or does a
Oh,
person have to shoot a gun? How do
oh,
guns work?
I, that is a very broad question. Um, I suppose there is a way you could do it, um, but
Like, say
I
I wanted to shoot an old lady at the White House.
uh,
Do I set up a gun and then just run away?
for all intents and purposes, most of the time it would be better to aim the gun and shoot it yourself. Just you have more control in that situation. But I do get the parallel to the situation that there was a gun in a bush and then no one in the bush. Uh, but I don't know if we'd have to go back and look at the scene.
If you shoot somebody from the front, do they fall? Do they fall this way, like backwards?
I
Do
don't
they
know.
like if you shot me?
I don't want to shoot you. Why are you saying such
Well,
things?
Like force, like a push? Is that what you're saying?
so please don't shoot me. I know you don't want to shoot me, Holly. It's fine. But I'm saying, if could someone have shot Cyrus from the bush and then he fell? Well,
Well,
I
is
guess if you go
somebody?
like this and
But the oh, if he was shot, wouldn't the coroner said that he had a bullet wound? But everybody is saying it's an accident because he fell. So they didn't find any bullet holes in him.
maybe they're also bad at their job. Maybe it's a cover up. Maybe the
Maybe,
coroner
or
did it.
maybe we need. Yeah, you're right. Maybe we need to go talk to the coroner
Money.
and say,
Maybe
hey, did you miss a bullet wound? Because we saw a shotgun in the bush. You know?
It also could have been maybe because it's a shotgun, and a shotgun. I don't know much about guns, but a shotgun from that far,
Yeah.
shotguns are usually up close. That's a pretty far distance for a shotgun. Maybe the sound scared him enough to make him fall. Maybe it was more of a sound aspect.
Mm, maybe.
That could also be a lack of Blair's knowledge of guns, but I think I've
I
I've
don't. I don't
I
know
Knox
much
also
about.
doesn't know about guns.
The only thing I know about shotguns and shooting them is I know sometimes people like to, what is it? They go out into a fancy place and then you have people with
The
a fancy
pigeons.
machine. Yeah, then they
mm,
pull a machine and it shoots a little clay disc in the air and they go pull and then they aim in the air and they shoot the clay disc for fun, you know? Um,
yeah.
but but that's the only thing I know about it.
My one of my grandsons plays this game called Fortnite, and
Mm.
I always, whenever he's playing, I always hear him scream, "Switch to the shotgun! They're right next to you!" So that's what made me think of that because it's better up close.
Oh, I didn't know Fortnite. Hmm,
Apparently, a
Oh,
interesting.
that's
very
the one with
violent video game.
the floss dance. My grandchild the like.
There's dancing and shooting people while they dance. It's very, very weird. Very weird.
Oh, that's confusing
I
Kids
miss
then.
the
these
days of
days.
the Super Mario and the hedgehog. The
Sonic?
Yes, the Sonic. The
Ah.
Sonic.
Mm.
Um,
Right, a lot
totally
more
not using
running.
those because those are the only games my grandma knew.
But anyway, Maxine, yeah, do you think if you know if you are teaching a writing class, if anybody suddenly brought a gun in the story, what would they do with it? Do they use it? Do they not use it? Do they just show it? Do they, you know, what is the purpose?
I I I think that depends on the character, and really what they want to do in the situation. Sometimes intimidation is a thing. Sometimes, obviously, you have a gun and you hurt people.
Oh.
Uh, I've encountered plenty of stories like that. Uh,
Hmm.
Well, they couldn't intimidate a bush.
But they weren't trying to intimidate the bush. Otherwise, they pointed at the bush. They trying to intimidate the lighthouse. But they pointed at the lighthouse.
But the lighthouse couldn't see it from the bush.
Uh, and maybe it was like you said. Maybe it's the sound supposed to scare someone.
I do know there's a thing. There's a Chekhov's gun. The gun must go off at some point.
Chekhov, who's that?
I don't know.
Oh, is
I
it
think
All
Rush?
of
Is
you
it
it's
Russian?
it's
are
the kid from the Star Trek.
Oh, the Star Trek. I never saw that show.
all of
They're
you
movies now.
are sitting and talking and having this conversation. Um and you, Maxine, I imagine that you're probably trying to keep an eye on Thurgood in the corner of the roadhouse. So you would see Thurgood get up, look a little confused, start to amble a little bit closer to the conversation. Still looks confused, ambles a little bit closer. Um, keeps getting closer and closer until he is right up on all of your all the table that you all are sitting at. Um, do you all not know how guns work?
Oh my goodness! You
This
shouldn't do that.
Why
this
do
is
people
a
keep
Parenting.
sneaking up on us?
this is a concerning conversation to be overhearing.
I know how guns work. You point it and then you shoot it. Mm,
Well, you have to pull the thing, love, so that it does.
what thing?
There's a switch, I believe.
Yeah, you
Otherwise, it
point and
doesn't.
then you shoot.
No. There's a switch. There's a switch that you switch. Then
A, s-
you,
a
because
switch.
if you don't switch the switch, the gun won't go off.
This is not turning on a light in the house.
It's not okay, okay. None of you have guns, right?
No. Do we look like we own guns to you?
I'm just feels important to make sure.
I have a
Oh,
cat.
oh, I'm so sorry. Who are you again? Uh, Introductions. My name is Helen, and you are
Thurgood.
Thurgood. Mm,
Why are
very
you
Do you
listening
have
nice.
a
to our
gun?
conversation?
You're having it very loudly. I can't help but pick it up in between whatever music they've put on tonight.
Just
They've
because we
never
can't
played
hear,
music like this before.
just because we can't hear well doesn't mean that you can jump into our
Also, hear your
conversation.
conversation. Yes, I can. You're all yelling about guns in a bush, intimidating a lighthouse.
Yes,
It's
I
an
don't.
odd
I don't.
movie
I,
that we just all saw together. We're discussing a film.
I believe it has that
yeah,
Harry
Chekhov was in it.
Styles.
Yeah, Chekhov, the
The
Chekhov
actor.
movie.
and Harry Styles in a movie about intimidating a lighthouse.
Yeah, it was in Fortnite. They were dancing and then there were guns. That's what her grandson was talking to us about.
You all are here about
Step
the
up.
lighthouse, aren't you?
She takes out her fan at the mention of the lighthouse, us being here for the lighthouse, and starts fanning herself a little bit too hard. And she said, "And what about if we are? Well, what? Why do you need to know?
Well, there's no other reason that strangers would be in Mucky Point right now.
Well, I heard that this place was, like a diamond in the rough, so we
No, you
wanted to come
didn't.
and have an
No,
adventure."
you didn't.
Hmm.
Nobody comes to Mucky Point because they want to be here.
Really?
Why do you live here then.
Some of
Nobody
us don't
does.
have the means of getting out.
That's fair. But that's fair. You should come to Brindlewood Bay.
There's very few places I would like less to be than Mucky Point and Brindlewood Bay
Okay, then
right
don't
now.
complain about Mucky Point.
We're we're just having trying to have a nice
Look,
conversation for friends, listening to the classics that are ABBA's Dancing Queen. Get it right, young man. And we didn't expect our conversation to be bombarded like this.
well, then you can have it somewhere quieter, and you don't have to yell so much.
We are not yelling. Just because we are sitting here having a nice chat with each other doesn't mean we are yelling.
Do you have anything to include in our conversation?
I've never
You
seen
wanted
this movie.
You should watch it. It was a delight. It was very confusing
I
though.
don't think I will. Why are you here for the lighthouse? Are you here
Fine.
because you think somebody killed him?
We
Do
are
you
here
think
to.
somebody killed him?
Thurgood looks at Maxine, being that Maxine has been the quietest of all of you. Thurgood is not chuffed with the others right now. I don't know if somebody killed Cyrus or not, but I do know that there was some loud arguing the night of the accident. That's all
why
that I
would you
know
why would you know that?
because I was out on the sea.
You have we weren't yelling. You have superhuman hearing. Right? How can
You heard an
waves?
argument from a lighthouse while on the ocean?
I was heading out to sea for the evening. In case you weren't aware, one of the places that you can get into the sea happens to be by the lighthouse, since the lighthouse is also by the sea.
Huh. We didn't make it that far.
Yeah, we
No,
were
no,
interrupted by
the intimidating bush
Well,
interrupted
I,
all of you.
I'm sorry. I always thought that lighthouses, you know, were there so that you don't put a boat by it because
Not a
that's where
big
all the
boat.
rocks are. Okay,
A
sorry. I
smaller
stand
boat
correct.
is easy enough. Look, I regret coming over here. I didn't mean to interrupt what a riveting conversation this was. Looks over at Maxine. I don't know if anybody killed Cyrus. I know he probably deserved it. I don't know if anybody actually did it.
Why does everybody keep saying he deserves to die?
Oi!
You are,
None of you
you are.
actually met him.
That's fair.
What did he do
But
that is
nobody
so
deserves to
terrible?
be murdered.
He was just a very unfriendly old man.
My dear, you do realize you haven't been exactly the picture of companionship tonight, right?
Well, maybe somebody's gonna try to kill me. That's
Well,
not
I
my
hope not.
business.
You don't deserve it. I'm just saying. Stone glass houses and stones.
Yeah, the glass house and the stone.
They're
Remember that parable. Anyways, you said you heard an argument. What was it about then?
I could just hear raised voices.
Was it then? You assume it was between this Cyrus and someone else because nobody liked him.
Probably the only two that were over there are Cyrus and Steven, and I think you all have met Steven. Glances over. Steven has just the most golden retriever energy smile right now, talking with Sarah and Tara. I don't think anybody's yelling at Steven.
Could you tell what kind of voices it was? Whether it was, old, young, male, female, anything in
Well,
between.
glances at Irma. I don't have superhuman hearing. Glances at Olive. Now, do I?
I
God, you're
don't.
very rude.
Thank you.
Would you like the Chelsea bun?
no, we don't. We don't. I gave them all to the constable. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I put food in my bag for later.
Oh, okay.
I always make sure to take extra of your cooking, dear. Would you like a Chelsea bun, young man? There's brandy in them.
Sure.
Here you go.
They're good. We'll take it. Um, Look, I just wanted to let you know that you're talking too loud, and that if you're here because of Cyrus, he probably deserved it, but I don't know if anybody killed him. But a bunch of a bunch of old biddies walk in and start talking about things that they don't know anything about. You kind of assume that they're here to poke and prod at the recent accident that happened in town.
Also, you also think it's an accident,
I
not
don't
a.
know what I think. I don't know if it was an accident or if it was murder.
Okay, what do you know then? What do you do? You are a sailor. You
I sit out by the sea where I belong.
you belong in the sea. Okay, uh, then you must like. Are you like a fisherman or?
Yes.
Oh, so okay. Uh, Thank you so much for your information. Thank you for your kind warning for us to be quiet. We will be more tame for your tastes. Is there anything else you would like to um, teach us, dear Thurgood?
I really hope not. Will holds the sweets, kind of raise it up and it cheers, walks away. Um, Maxine, roll me. This is just going to be another straight roll. Roll me composure.
What is my composure bonus? It is a 1, so that is a 13.
Ooh, very nice. You notice, amidst all of the chaos, amidst all of the disrespectfulness coming from Thurgood, uh, who I will say in my head started out as like only a little bit younger than y'all, and then every jibe that y'all took at him, I just made him younger and younger in my head. Like it just kept decreasing his age. Because I was like, oh no, he's nowhere near y'all's age. Um, you would see as Thurgood is walking away, a piece of paper fall out of his pocket as he is walking away, looking at this and eating this sweet bun.
Um, I think I pick it up, but slower than like to give Thurgood enough time to like move out of range to not realize that I'm picking up something behind him.
Easy enough to do. He seems very content with not being near the rest of you. Um, you find this is an official clue. That's a clue that I think is really interesting. Uh, you find, where did it go? Where did it go? A poem paying respects to Poseidon.
Can I ask a clarification question?
Mhm.
When you say paying respects, like as if he's dead or more like in worship?
In worship, like
Okay,
honoring Poseidon.
gotcha.
Um, yeah, I think Maxine grabs it and kind of sits back down at the table and sets it down on the table. It's like he just dropped this out of his pocket. If everyone wants to take a look, and then I can put it away so no one else sees it.
Sure. I'll, I guess I'll pass it around. What is it? Is it anything specific or is it just in general?
In general, this is a poem paying respects to Poseidon. It is. about 3 pages long, and it is handwritten.
3 pages. Okay.
Somebody very devoted has written this out.
Are the names on the picture that Helen picked up, are they handwritten?
Yes,
You know, does the handwriting look similar?
it does not.
Okay.
Interesting. This is a interesting poem. Poseidon. That's what? God of Sea, is it? If I recall correctly from my adventures, that one time I went to Athens. Ah, it was really nice. I went to his temple. It was like by the ocean. Well, the sad thing is, most of the time, all those temples, all it is left is just the pillars and the foundation. Rome did a crazy thing to all of Greece and the rest of the Europe.
Kian, do you have any of the poem, or is it just a poem?
Did the mystery include a 3-page poem?
The stream did not. Kian found one. Um,
Oh,
I found one, but my computer ate it, and I still haven't figured out how to get it back. So I will get the full poem to y'all.
No!
I know. I'm really
Lost to
disappointed
the
about it.
sea!
Lost to the sea, indeed.
Um, kind of in kind of connecting the if the picture like handwriting and stuff is the same. Looking over at because Steven's still over there with Tara and Sarah, right? What is that vibe?
They seem to just be some friends shooting the shit.
Okay. So everybody's like chill. Like it seems like they're all chill with each other. Okay.
Yeah, there's not um like every once in a while there's a glance over to y'all. Um you get the sense that either it's from Tara or Steven. It is, oh god, are they still here? Have they wandered off again? And from Sarah, it is more of just like, this is kind of weird that there are these newcomers in town, but I suppose I'm not gonna, worry too much about it kind of vibe.
Okay.
I think Helen, as everyone is like looking and reading over this poem, will just say, "Well, I don't know if we have a lot to go off of, but it seems that we have a few leads to follow. I guess we could go to the museum to check in on Eleanor to see, who she is, what her relationship with Cyrus was. Uh, Olive, I don't know if you really want to go back to that bush to find that shotgun and see if it was there. Uh, but if you do, I suggest taking maybe all of us go together because shotguns are very dangerous. Um, and yeah, I don't know if we have any other places to go. It seems that people in this town really, really don't like a lot of outside people coming. You know, we are just sitting here talking about, what we like and how we don't really understand guns, and then somebody just has to come over here and correct us and say, "Oh, you're too loud, you're too loud." Hey, so disrespectful.
He was really rude, wasn't he? I mean, it seemed like not a really good reason to be so rude, but he was very rude.
It's okay. He doesn't love his mother. That's why.
Yep, I could see that. I could see that.
Mm.
I am curious why there's a museum when everyone says there's no reason to be here. I mean, granted, I grew up in a town where we had a museum because somebody invented a specific kind of potato chip. And that was a very big
Oh,
deal to us. True story. But still, but still.
Yeah, I mean, everybody said this place is like not very good, but personally, I think it's kind of fascinating that like, you know, you you are so famous because you are not good. So something you must be doing something right? To have a reputation of, being mucky or whatever the place is. But I don't know, maybe the museum is the diamond in the rough.
also, kind of the opposite of that. It would be interesting to find who was wanting to build the apartments.
Mm, yes, agreed. I, that is a very good thing. That's a very good idea.
Because
I,
also, if nobody wants to be here, why would they be wanting to build apartments?
And if nobody from here wants people to be here, why would Sarah be so upset with Cyrus for
Not.
maintaining the lighthouse when that would ensure nobody new comes to town?
Mm,
Hmm. Hmm. A lot of people don't like him. They say he's so mean and deserves to die. This is quite a strong judgment, actually.
I think you have to try to be this rude.
Stephen likes him.
Yeah. In fact,
Stephen had
Steven,
very
the only
nice
one that likes
things.
him. I think I think
Tara,
Tara a
Steven.
little bit,
Oh,
yeah.
Tara, yeah, 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 yeah. But Stephen will also apprentice. Why you don't want to be so rude to your teacher? You know that's very disrespectful.
and Tara's also from out of town.
Hmm.
Nobody from Mucky Point seems to like Cyrus.
Hmm.
Maybe we could look into Cyrus's background a little bit more. Maybe there was something that he did other than just hang out at the lighthouse that makes everybody so angry about him.
I wonder if Cyrus was from Mucky Point.
Mm, that's a
Interesting.
good point. Also, speaking of, why does everyone have the same eye color?
What?
Right?
Even, 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 really get really quick. Even Steven and Tara,
I didn't know that until you mentioned
And
it
those
now.
aren't Marsha's eyes.
right?
Maybe they just like want to have the same eye contacts. You know.
That's weird.
Is there a contact store?
I don't know. I don't know. You can order. Like I was saying, you can order off of the Amazon place or
Oh,
thing.
that's true. That's true.
That's like how my granddaughter wanted those Stanley cups because all of her friends had those Stanley cups, and now it's like it's it's
Ah,
how did she say it? It's giving cult.
giving code.
Giving cult?
Giving code.
Like
What
wanting
are
to
you
do
giving to
like
the code?
it was the way she said it. I
Okay.
it's one of those kid things.
Do we think Mucky Point is a cult?
I wasn't saying I think they're a cult. I'm just
Oh,
saying
okay.
it's giving cult.
It's giving cult.
What are we giving to the code?
Stanley Cups. Stanley
Oh,
Cups.
okay, okay.
They're all interested in hockey.
Ah, ah. What do you think, Maxine? Do you think any good leads we should follow up first, or
Uh, I well, uh, Tara had told me to talk to Thurgood
oh,
to see if he knew anything or heard anything. And well, he invited himself over here, so save myself the trouble of that situation. Uh, and So my notes say Eleanor is the other person to talk to. Um, yeah, and also tracking down the rest of this newspaper. Perhaps there's a there's a place we can find.
A
oh,
library.
Yeah,
Do they still have, do they still my grandson set me up with this little app called Libby where I don't even have to leave the house and I can check out books from the library. I got the entire Golden Crown series on there. But anyways, the libraries I remember they used to have the things and Knox is gonna describe this the way I know it because I'm too young for this. But I to my knowledge, libraries used to have like a thing and then there were newspapers like rolled on it and then they would like do that and you could go through but Irma's gonna explain it in the
yeah,
actual way because I don't know what the fuck this is. I just know it's from Nancy Drew. So
Like a newspaper
yeah.
Rolodex or something like that. Like
what's a
a
Rolodex?
oh, it's like a it's like where you would keep all your before you had like a phone, like where you'd keep all your contacts. It was all like paper, and you would like literally opened up and you spun it to the right letter.
Like an address book?
Yes, but it was in like you could take the pieces out and like write it and then put it back in
It
and
was
alphabetize it.
It was sized for business cards. So when you got somebody's
Yes.
business card, you could put it in an alphabetical order and roll through a Rolodex for it.
I'm about to send a picture. 1 second.
Yeah, the libraries normally have a lot of things in archives, you know? They have different like newspapers on those rolls. I wonder if the museum actually has anything archived there too. So maybe we can start at the museum. I don't know if you guys want to, divide and conquer, you know? Maybe we go to the museum, talk to Eleanor. I don't know. Again, Olive, if you're going to go back to the bush to check about the shotgun, please take somebody with you at least. Don't go by yourself. It's starting to get dark already. Yeah, we're starting to run out of time. Maybe you should split up if you want. If not, we can go together.
Is there anything that we could do tonight and then maybe because I don't know some of the places that we'd want to go, would they be closed?
Oh, that's
Some of
true.
them will be closed, but you can still go and investigate them. So part of the night move is that it's a little bit more dangerous in part because you have to do riskier things to continue to investigate.
Maybe we can just stop by the museum. Maybe, it's a small town. I don't know if she has put up a sign of when the hours are. If not, we can check when the hours are at least, and then maybe we can go back and see if we can find that weird shotgun. You know?
I'm fine with doing that for tonight, kind of there, and then maybe tomorrow split up and go a few places.
Maxine?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
So you
Ready,
all are
pomegranate?
going where first?
I think I'm planning to head to the museum if
Okay.
everyone would like to follow, and then like after we stop at the museum, potentially heading back to that bush to
Hmm.
see where that shotgun went.
Okay. Um, you are you trying to do this without being seen by Tara or Sarah or Steven?
Do I get the sense that they are like particularly wanting to like keep us here or watch over us?
They would like to keep you
Yes.
here or at an inn for the night.
Okay. If that's the case, um, I would like to leave, or at least create an. If I can't do it, create an opening for the rest of my friends to leave without me. Um, one of the two. Uh, you know, uh,
How would you like to go about that, you think? If you have any ideas off the top of your head.
I think since I know that they're kind of like watching us, I think Helen would actually go back up to them and just prod and press about like the different places you can stay overnight and just kind of like fuss over the thing and just be very kind of loud and extravagant about like, oh no, that's too cheap, maybe we can find, is there something more expensive that's a little bit too not dirty per se, just like I just want a little bit more clean, as she kind of like takes up the space and tries to hold their attention. um
Okay. Um, if you fail at this, what are you afraid will happen?
if I fail this, I'm afraid that they will suspect that um, we are actually here. I don't know if they fully suspect that we are here to solve this mystery. I think some of them are hinting towards that, but I think some of them are not. I'm afraid that like the the, the cat's out of the bag of like, oh, they're really here to prod. And I think I'm also afraid that they'll see that I'm trying to cover up for my friends that are like trying to make themselves uh, out of the door of this place.
Okay. If you fail this, so the way that a night move works, you tell me what you're afraid will happen. I will narrate or tell you what will actually happen because it will be worse. If you fail this roll, Sarah will be the one who notices that you are trying to distract. So not only will she catch that your friends are trying to leave quietly out the door, but Sarah doesn't think that it was a murder. She thinks that it was an accident, and she will call the constable to let him know that all of you are sneaking around. So
Got
go
it.
ahead and roll me a presence. You are looking ideally for a 10 or higher.
Okay, come on, give me some presents. Okay. 7 plus 2 is 9. So
Okay,
close.
that's okay. That's okay. So you are what can happen here is that I can narrate this. I'll tell you what's going to happen, and then after I narrate it, you can decide if you would like to use a crown of the queen or a crown of the void move to bump that 9 up to a 10. So what would happen if you don't do, if you choose not to do that, um so this is a success, but is the way that a 7 to a 9 works. So you will successfully let your friends get out without being seen, and they will not be completely, oh no, these people are here to try and solve this murder. But
Mhm.
um I will say that in leaving, um they will not notice you, but Thurgood will. Thurgood will
Ah,
notice that your friends are trying to leave.
okay.
So you can either play that through or you can use one of the crown moves.
Do we want to do this now? I'm so scared. Um, oh, I think I'm willing to take the risk of Thurgood noticing. Oh, but
Okay.
she's gonna call the constable, isn't she? Sarah.
Sarah was going to call the constable. If Thurgood tells her, then Sarah will probably still call the constable, but you don't know if Thurgood's going to do that.
Hmm. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I think it's still early enough that I'm willing to take the risk. I don't think we're in uh, imminent danger in my
Okay.
brain, so I think I'm gonna
Okay.
play it out that way.
So you start talking about these different places and asking for something that's a little less cheap, a little bit cleaner, looks a little bit nicer. As the rest of the three of you start to slowly meander your way out, you catch eyes with Thurgood as you're leaving each of you. Thurgood watches the three of you leave, doesn't seem to say anything, but sits there, kind of glances over his shoulder to look over at whatever Helen is doing up at the bar, sits back down in his corner. So far is not saying anything. Um, Eventually, Helen, I'll say that you settle on a um, sort of a 3-star, which in this town is a 5-star, but a 3-star, a little bed and breakfast that has enough space for all of you that Stephen can recommend, has stayed there before. His soon to be fiance has stayed there whenever he's come to visit sometimes. So it's not going to be the best place, but I think you're going to really like it. It's very homey, it's very
Oh yeah,
cozy. So
thank you. Yeah, yeah. The Rock in the Hot Place is a very, kitschy but cute little inn. I don't mind this place. Yes, yes, yes.
okay, okay, good. And we'll kind of, write down instructions and directions and things and hand that to you. But the three of you have successfully made it out quietly, uh, without at least Sarah, Tara, or Stephen noticing that you have left.
All right. So, do we wait for Helen?
I think before she goes up at the table, she says she'll catch up with you. Like I think right before that scene, she'll be like, I know they're watching us, so maybe why talk to them and we get a little situated in this town of where we're going to stay for the night. You guys can go, and I'll meet you guys at the museum, okay? And that's what happens.
Dear, we have your car.
Oh, no, the car is still parked, I think, near the lighthouse. I think we walked. I don't think we've driven this car.
That was my understanding, was that you all,
Oh, okay. I
because
was
it's
confused.
a pretty
Okay.
small confined spot.
Yeah.
Is the museum close to, I mean, I'm guessing it's close to the lighthouse, right?
Yeah, kind of one of those, like, everything is close to everything kind of cities
Oh, okay.
or small towns.
Cool, cool.
All right, let's.
Ooh. Mosey on over.
Oh, we're getting in our steps.
Yes.
You all get to the museum. It is late enough that the museum is dark. The doors are shut. There's a closed sign hanging from it. Across the top, it says the Historical Mucky Point Lighthouse Museum. It's a very long name for such a small building. Um, it walks there's a stone path that leads up. It looks like it was once a historic home that has been converted into the museum itself. um Let me, there it is. um it seems it's all shiplap on the outside. There's storm shutters next to the windows. It's very much looks like a home, probably from the 30s or so. um I will ask Olive. um Looking around, you can tell this building was originally used for another darker purpose. What do you see?
Ooh, a darker purpose. Maybe this used to be like a maybe we're in like Massachusetts, Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
one of the
yeah, New
so
England area.
maybe there's like a big like tree like 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 you guys know anything about like old settlements, like it's just that's like where they dealt with like people that like to there
The
not
murder
jail.
tree?
A
Yeah,
hanging tree.
yeah. I don't know how much to like how far across a I don't want to cross any like lines or rails or anything, but like if it's I feel like I'm thinking like if we're in kind of like an area where it's like witch trials and that's kind of like this area and stuff like that. So I figure like old settlements like that might have a tree of sorts. So
Yeah, so like you all walk up and you see that there is a one of those like indicator of like a historic spot signs that's been pretty well kind of like clearly marked through, and like it's clearly something that people don't want to talk about. But we'll say that this is the site, this historic home, um before it served as a historic or a home for the lighthouse. Way back when, it was also the home for the judge, and so this was where the gallows were, because it was very conveniently located next to the courthouse. The judge lived above the courthouse. um so not, not exactly the warmest welcome, with this sort of curved tree hanging. um Terrible choice of words. This sort of curved tree with all of its branches sort of reaching down toward the building itself. The building is the lights are dark, the doors are shut. What would you all like to do?
Can
Have
I?
I caught up with them too, or am I part of this? Sorry, I wasn't sure if I caught up with
Uh,
them, or you let
Depends.
me know.
Well, I can't imagine you all move the swiftest. Like you move with purpose, but it's not like you're sprinting through this. So I would say yes, Helen. You're probably with the group at this point.
Okay.
Uh, you said the doors are shut.
Correct.
This is a small town. Do they lock their doors?
You can go and try to find out.
I'm gonna try to find out. I'm gonna put my hand like in like I'm assuming I crocheted a scarf for this whole time, and put my hand so I'm not fingerprints and all, and I'm gonna see
Fair
if the
enough.
door will open.
Fair enough. They do indeed lock the doors here.
Back. Do they lock their window?
Um, oftentimes old storm windows did not open, or old in between storm windows did not open. Um, So yes, the windows and doors are locked or otherwise secured for now. And depending on what you all decide to do with them, I'm not holding my breath on those being secured for very long with this group.
I was about to ask, girls, how do we feel about just some light breaking and entering?
some
Light
light
breaking and the ring.
light B&E.
I mean, uh, I don't, I don't want to. It's not very demure of me to break and enter. Not very mindful of me.
I'm being mindful of the fact that a man was murdered.
That's true. That's true. Maybe we can
That's
make
not
an
very
exception.
cutesy.
No, maybe we can make an exception. Uh, are there like office hours? Like, are there posted notes of like, or like a sign or something around saying like, this is when we open, this is when
Yeah,
we're closed.
there's a sign that just says open daily at 10 a.m.
Okay. Are there like pamphlets around to be like giving us more information about the museum, or is all that like inside?
All of it is
Um,
inside.
got it. Um, since we're talking about this, I will start to circle the house itself to see if there's any kind of other openings, other doors. And I will like gesture to follow me, or I don't know if people want to do their own thing, but Helen will start to like inspect like the outside perimeter of this space.
Sure. You are checking things out. Welcome, Raiders. Thanks for coming to hang out. Joining us for catching the tail end of tonight's episode of Brindlewood Bay, A Murder Most Mucky. Um, you are circling around this place. You're circling a building at night in a city where you are not familiar. I would say that this probably calls for a night move roll. Um, what are you afraid of will happen as you are trying to do this?
I'm afraid there,
And
the,
it can
there are
literally
two
be
things.
anything. So,
I'm afraid I'm gonna fall because it's dark. Like
okay.
it's dark. It is outside. We already established that there's this giant, like, creeping tree. I'm assuming like its giant shadows kind of cover the majority of the estate. And so even if there are like, street lights, it cannot shine over everything. I'm only
Mhm.
assuming that the street light like shines in front of the house. But as you start to, in my brain, as we I start to walk around, it's dark. There are things that like you could slip or fall or injure yourself upon, is what I assume is my fear.
Okay. Um, if you fail the roll, you will fall. Um, and you will also take the condition sprained ankle, which could
Okay.
have you roll at a disadvantage moving forward, depending on the
Okay.
situation.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me reason.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Appropriate. Appropriate. That's a 5.
Um, if so, what is going to happen is, as I said, you will be walking and looking. You do end up slipping and falling, catching your foot on a root. You do very badly sprain your ankle. So anything moving forward where you would be needing to be quiet, anything where you are trying to run from something, all of that would be rolled at disadvantage. Basically, anything that requires your vitality would be rolled at a disadvantage. Um, would you like to use a crown move?
Oh, goodness. You know, I love to play by the edge of my seat. I'm going to take this sprained ankle.
Fair enough. So go ahead and write the condition sprained ankle. Um, and you are, the rest of you would hear Helen kind of walking around, going to look, and I assume let people know where she is headed.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Um,
The Yeah, as she says, like, these are the hours. Maybe I'm gonna take a look around. Seeing that maybe we might be able to find another way in or something. I'm gonna go over here. Okay. She slowly like starts to walk. Helen, I think we've established, is like luxurious in silks and in heels, even at this age, because she's always walked in them for literally the majority of her life, whenever she learned how to, just to build her stature and give her height and everything else. And I think in this moment, as she is walking upon root and earth, the heel catches on something and she twists it, and you hear a ah, and a thud. She's like, "Oh, I think I sprained my ankle. It's okay. Be careful. There's a root." As she calls out to the rest of the group.
The rest of you hear Helen say this. And Helen, you kind of turn over to look and see what it was that caught your shoe, what you caught your shoe on.
Yeah,
And the house itself has a crawl space, and you see a hand reaching back into the crawl space.
an even larger scream. It's like, ah! Uh, you just hear and scrambles back like away from whatever crawl space that there was there as she is trying to get away and up as much as she can.
Your back is pressed against one of the trees, and you're trying to scramble your way up to get to a stand. What are the rest of you doing?
Irma's running to Helen.
Yeah, yeah, definitely running over that way.
Yeah.
I would like everybody to if you are running in the dark as elderly people, this I would consider as a risky move. So I would like everybody to roll me vitality. If this does not, if anybody fails this roll, you will also take the condition sprained ankle, which will give you a disadvantage moving forward. But I need everyone to roll me vitality.
I got a 12.
Hell yeah.
Damn. Okay, I got an 8.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Okay. Um,
No.
Maxine, you can take the condition sprained ankle, or if you would like to, you do have a crown move if you would like to try to use one of the crown moves instead.
I think I'm also going to take the sprained ankle.
Okay, fair enough. Anything with vitality moving forward will likely be rolled at a disadvantage. Go ahead and write the condition sprained ankle. Um, Olive, with your 12, on a 12 plus, you do also get a clue because you rolled so well. That is just the way that it works. Um,
Yes.
you see, I know exactly which clue I want to give here. Um, you are moving along, moving as quickly as you can, and you glance over and you see behind one of the trees on the ground is a skull. You find a skull in an unexpected place. That is your clue. And I think seeing that skull running toward Helen, who has screamed and is scrambling backward, Helen, having just seen this hand fly back into the crawl space, is an excellent place for us to end today's session, as
Oh,
we are getting close to time. Uh, this was lovely. I enjoyed this game so very much with all of you. Y'all are so much fun. I'm gonna hand it over to my audience. I'm sorry, to my audience. I'm gonna hand it over to my cast. Hello, audience. Please, everybody, do your outros. No, I'm gonna hand it over to my cast to go ahead and do your outros. We'll go in the same order. So we'll go Andrew to Knox to Ian to Blair. Um, but let us know who you are, where we can find you, what else you're going to be doing. I will start off with Andrew.
Hi, I'm Andrew. You can find me on Twitter at ASUSAGM. I am one of the hosts of Melanin Mythos and the GM of That's Dicey. That's the only places I am other than here.
We're very lucky to have you, and we very much appreciate it. Over to Knox.
Ha! Just finished chewing. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Nox Kitos. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and today I have been Irma Cortez, who also uses she, her, hers pronouns and has a cat named Pomegranate, and I love Pomegranate so much. Do we say where you can find us and stuff like that? I'm actually doing stuff this month now. Like, yay, I have stuff to say. La 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 la. Okay, Saturday I'm in 2 streams. Um, we talked earlier that in the beginning about our friend Lion, who we're currently doing mutual aid, who's currently asking for mutual aid. There's a huge like mutual aid streams planned for Lion, and I'm going to be in 2 of them on Saturday. One is a D&D game over on Violet Fem's channel at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And another one is 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Corrosive Squid's channel, and it's a kids on bikes game. I also have another one next Wednesday, so it's gonna be after the next one, but it's the Between over on Life from the Apocalypse. At, I don't know what time. I'll find out. But that's all I'm gonna say for now. Because I'll also be back here Monday, and I'm very excited for that. If you want to know more, you can follow me on social media at nocturnal_7. And Dr. Pepper count is 3 because I'm gonna try. I know it's not a challenge. I'm gonna still try. Over to you in the studio.
Thank you kindly. We'll hand it over to Ian.
Hi, my name is Ian DePriest. My pronouns are he, they, and I have been playing Helen Yang, as you've seen, who has just sprained her ankle and almost gotten attacked by weird ghouls and ghostlies. I don't know. Um, you can find me anywhere and everywhere on the internet. I am a voice actor, singer, songwriter. Just search Ian DePriest. You'll probably find me. On Twitter, it's Ian LDP. Things that I have going on. I was recently recording with the Queer XP podcast. They will be having those episodes out, I think, in October or soonish. They've started announcing stuff. It's going to be um, Moonlight on Roseville Beach is what we played. So another kind of cool queer ooky spooky thing. Uh, so if you want to see more of that, um, be on the lookout for that little podcast. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. And down to Blair.
Hi, I'm Blair, underscore Canadian Moose all over the place. I've been playing Olive Emery, and this has been super, super fun. I love playing this game with y'all. It's been fantastic. You can normally find me over on High Shelf Collective. That's where I'm at most of the time. I also am here or over on Lost Caravan. What I have coming up Wednesday on over on High Shelf Collective. It's the final episode of Beacon's Royal Flush. We're the little mini series in between the Beacons of Farlight main series. So yeah, all of our little doodads are competing for a tome to try and take over the crime family. So we'll see if we'll all be friends in the end or not. But that's kind of the only thing. Oh, and then I guess next week, well, we'll have this, but um, next week is Nova on Wednesday as well. So yeah. Other than that, that's really all the things I have going. So not too much, but yeah. High Shelf is always a good place to find me if you want to check out what I'm doing. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you. And of course, hello, everybody. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, he. You can find me on the interwebs at uptight_fun, uptight-fun, depending on where you're hanging out. I'm going to be here next Monday for our last episode of Brindlewood Bay, A Murder Most Mucky. Very much looking forward to it. Tomorrow night, I'll be here for They Call Us Villains, our horror masks actual play. Just playing a little lad. He's having a super rad time. It's totally fine. Wednesday, I'm going to be on High Shelf Collective with Blair for our Beacon's Royal Flush finale. My character there has gotten a little unhinged. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really intense character, but I love them dearly. Um, Let me see, what else am I doing? On Saturday, I will be on Lost Caravan for our Fabulous Ultima Fatal Ascension season finale, which I'm looking forward to. Um, Brindlewood Bay next week, next Monday. I will be also be on Lost Caravan with Blair for Nova next Wednesday. And then next Saturday, I will be here for our Blooming in the Rot the Invisible Sun campaign that Nox is also in. It's the other campaign that IGM is so much fun. I absolutely love it. Starting in September, I will be doing a 3-part series of public access, similar to what we're doing here with Brindlewood Bay, but public access with a totally different table. If you like what we do, if you want to come and hang out and play either Brindlewood Bay or Public Access, there will be another casting call very soon, casting for the next set of games in the anthology. So my intention is for this to be a rotating different cast every single time. So feel free to come and hang out, apply for that next casting call. We're probably going to change up the days a little bit to allow some different availability for folks. So if you are interested, keep an eye on social medias. As far as the channel goes, I mentioned most of it because I'm in a lot of the things that we do here. But tomorrow night, They Call Us Villains. On every other Thursday, God Complex, A Girl by Moonlight AP, GM'd by Will. Every other Friday, our Weird Wilds War 5E AP, GM'd by JT. We've got some other games coming up in the wings as well, so follow on social media. That is all that I have. Blair's going to cue us up for a raid over to High Shelf Collective. Thank you kindly. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, be kind to the planet. We're all just trying our best out there. Um, of course, as I said at the top of the campaign, keep all eyes on Sudan, on Palestine, on Congo. Pay attention to what's going on in the world. Donate and support where you can. Thanks for hanging out, everyone, and we will catch you next time. Bye bye. Say goodbye, cast.
Goodbye, cast.
Where's the
Goodbye,
button?
cast.
Yes.
Meow.
So while we're, I don't think I have, I don't think I have ability to do this for some
Okay.
reason.
We will be raiding High Shelf soon. Don't go anywhere because it's gonna
Don't go
happen,
in.
guys. Just sit
Yeah.
tight. We'll be
There
back
it's a
soon.
finale too.
Yes.
It is.
It's the best
Why?